Hello everyone! I have already recorded 3 videos for those foreign men and women who would want to buy a house in Ukrainian village. Links to those episodes will be in the description to this video, and I must say there are many advantages and benefits of living for anyone in the countryside in Ukraine. There are some disadvantages, of course, and I will cover those disadvantages in my next videos as well, but there are certainly a lot of advantages of living in a house in Ukrainian countryside. But before we move on, please check that you liked this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Today I will show you a house that was sold in September last year, 2022, for $4,500 in a village called Chagov, which is in Vinnytsia region. As we go through the overview of the house, I will tell you about those criteria that I told you in previous videos on how to choose a village and how to choose a house with good land. I must admit that it was pretty hard to find such house, and if I planned to live in village in a countryside, I would definitely look for this option because house and land are very good, and the price is pretty good, and I think it could be negotiated even a little bit more. But let's look at the house. And by the way, I will put a name of this village in description to this video in English and in Russian, so you can paste it into the Google Maps and even take a virtual tour of the village, because in 2015 Google put this village on its maps with a virtual tour option. Enough of words, let's see the house. We can see a road to the house, and you can see that the road quality is pretty good, and the road is pretty wide, which means it will be easy to get to this place. Now we're entering this place, and you can see that fence is of good quality, as well as this entrance gate. And if you plan to have a car, we will talk about it in my next video, it will be easy to enter and park it here. Owner shows us a little garden right next to the house where raspberries and apple trees grow. And just notice how everything clean here. So everything is looked after, the garden, the trees, and as we can see the house as well. Here they have some kind of satellite dish, even though I don't know what this satellite dish can capture, and an electric meter which is outside of the house. We can also see a pretty good windows, which have been installed several years ago. Here owner has a very good wine grapes, and she says that you can plant more if you like wine and if you will be making wine. And here owner shows a very big mulberry tree, and as we can see the tree, on the road a small truck passed by. And it is pretty good. It means that business in this village is present and it is not some kind of dying village. She says that this mulberry has been planted by her grandfather a very long time ago. Now we are entering the house itself, and here we have about 15 square meters. Usual extension to every village house, which helps to keep warmth inside the house in the winter time. You can view it maybe as a big corridor. Here they have some storage boxes and a big refrigerator, which stays here, so they are not taking it away. And everything that you see in this house is included in the price. And remember, it was sold for $4,500. So we're entering a house itself and we check the floor. She says that linoleum has been replaced just 3 or 4 years ago. And they are talking about quality of walls. And she says that thickness of walls is about 60 to 70 centimeters. That it is very warm in the winter and pretty cold in the summertime. So you don't even need an air conditioner here. Man asks her about the quality of the roof, and she's telling that there is a very big attic right upstairs and he can check it out. And indeed we can see a very big attic where you can store a lot of things. And we see that quality of roof is also pretty good. There are no holes, and everything is dry here. So roof is not leaking, and woman says that her children, when they come from the city, they go fishing and then they dry fish right on this attic. That there is a good river with a lot of fish. Now we enter the kitchen, and please note that there is no sink in this kitchen. We see a gas stove, a table, then woman shows us that there is a centralized heating installed here with a new gas heater, and we can see that there is a gas meter in this kitchen, but there is no sink. So you can ask, where do they wash all these fruits, vegetables and everything else? And that is what I was talking to you about in previous video. Water nor sewers are connected to this house, and most probably you will have to deal with it after you buy this house. We enter the house itself, and we can see a small inner corridor of about 10 square meters. As usual, we see a lot of icons to scare all the evil stuff away. The window here is still wooden. Maybe it will have to be changed in about 2-3 years. We can see a bed here. Probably somebody sleeps who comes here from the city. Maybe her children, or maybe she sleeps here when children come to her. And now she shows the biggest room in the house, which is 33 square meters. And she says that when kids come, all of them sleep in this room. No air conditioner is needed, that they installed new windows 3 or 4 years ago. And in the garden she grows raspberries here. She also says that when they installed new windows, everything is very quiet, even when trucks are passing by. But there are not so many trucks, maybe 10 or 15 per day. And here you can see that they have cable internet and even a Wi-Fi spot. She says that they installed special windows that keep the heat inside the house, and in the summer they keep the inside cool. Now she shows a third room where her husband lives. He works here also at this table, and you can see a lot of carpets on the walls. And it is because carpets keep the building warmer, because walls may get cold in the winter, but carpets keep it warm inside the building and inside rooms. A pretty nice house, I would say. Also here they have an old kind of heating that you can heat the house with wood or with coal. It was just too difficult to remove it when they installed the gas heater. And now you can save money and heat this house with coal and with wood if you want. So I must say it's also an advantage of this house. And now let's go outside and see what else they have here. We can see a well outside of the house. Remember, I told you in my previous video about the level of water in the well. And he asks to check the level, and as we can see, the level is pretty high of this water. But I don't see any pump installed here, so most probably that's what you would have to do if you would buy such house. You would have to install a pump that would pump up the water, and then inside the house and inside the toilet and bathroom. Her grandfather built this big cellar, and cellar is very dry, has lots of room for storage, and here they stored potatoes, because they grew potatoes in their garden. Sometimes when they had too many potatoes, they sold the rest. And here she says that you can install some shelves, and you can store whatever you want here, like syrups that you can make from raspberry and strawberry that grows in the garden, or jam that also you can make from cherries and strawberries and raspberries. So lots of place for storage, and the height to the ceiling is more than 2 meters. And as we come out from the cellar, we see another car passing by. And the woman says that the road is cleaned in the winter every day when a lot of snow falls. Which is very good, because in many villages snow is not cleaned at all. Well, she says that they have a very big garden and a lot of land, but we will see it a little bit later. And now let's see the summer kitchen. And again, you see, in the summer kitchen there is no sink, so they wash everything, all fruits or vegetables and everything that they cook, they wash outside and then they cook. But she says this summer kitchen is used to make jams for the winter, because they grow a lot of strawberries and a lot of raspberries and cherries and peaches, and they make a lot of jams each year. And it is easy to cook it all here. Here in these barrels they store corn and wheat. She says that barrels are very nice, and if you close them, then mice will not get in no matter what. And yes, there are mice here as well. But the summer kitchen is dry, the roof is of good quality, no leaks, nothing, so you will not have to renovate anything here. And here they have like a small dining room for the summer. When kids come to her, they cook barbecue here, they eat here. There's even an old sofa that has to be changed because it is very, very old. But when this woman was young, she says that her husband used to play the guitar on this sofa. And this extension, her husband started to build a bathroom. And it's like a bathroom and like with Russian banya, which is sort of sauna. He installed a coal or wood heater here, installed a bathroom, and she says that it hasn't been used still yet, that it is not finished. But I think it has been used, and it has been used quite a lot, because this heater is pretty old and even tiles fell off. But this room needs renovation for sure. This bathroom, I mean, and it has 12 square meters, which is okay for the so-called Russian sauna. And once again he asks if everything stays here, and she says yes, everything stays. She doesn't take out anything from this house. She is selling it as it is. Now she says, I will show you a workshop of my father. And she says that her father died 10 years ago. And in the summer he used to live even in this room. And this building has so thick walls that you can even install a heater here in the winter, and it will be okay even to sleep in this room. But of course room needs some renovation, and there is also electricity in this room. A pretty small room, but you can make it maybe as a guest house. If some friends or relatives from abroad come to you and want to experience some Ukrainian countryside life. And she says that even this bicycle remains here for $4,500. Everything is included in the price. This was a so-called chicken coop. I had to look this word up in the dictionary. I haven't ever used the word like house where chickens live. So it's a chicken coop. And she says that here you can store some hay, and even it will be drying up when it is stored here. And in this room, or in this barn, let's say, her parents used to have a cow, 2 pigs and 2 sheep. And still they have some hay here, but it has been a very long time since they had all these cows, sheep and pigs. And she says that if new owner wants, he can have up to maybe 10 pigs, or maybe a cow and 5 pigs, or maybe a cow and 5 sheep, and they can all live here without any problems. But I guess you can make maybe a pretty big guest house if you renovate it quite nicely. And he asks her, where is the toilet here? And she shows that this is a toilet. So this wooden extension is a toilet. And remember, I was telling you in my previous video about how important it is to look where the toilet is. So imagine when it is minus 25 degrees Celsius, So it's like minus 10 degrees Fahrenheit. And when it is all in snow and you run out from the building, from that house, you run to this toilet. And since you have to go to the toilet maybe 5 or 6, 7 times per day, just imagine running to this toilet all the way through snow, which is not comfortable at all. So you have to deal with the toilet in this building, and you have to build an extension to a house, then dig a hole, install some kind of septic, and that would be additional like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. Here she says that if you have pigs and in the summer all these pigs can be outside, which is very good for the pigs or for the sheep in summertime to be outside. But I think you will just have to destroy this thing and don't care about pigs or sheep. And now she says we have a lot of trees here. They have plum trees, several apple trees, some kind of winter style apple tree that grows next to the winter, and they have peach trees and even 2 big pear trees with very nice pears. And just by looking at these trees, they are old trees and you see they have all green leaves, I can say that soil here is pretty good. So I would definitely buy such house if I wanted to live in the countryside. But she says that's not all, and I have a very huge land plot, which she will be happy to show us right now. And here is her land plot for gardening. And she has here 7,000 square meters, which is 75,000 square feet. Here she grows strawberries and some blackcurrant. And all these green thing that you see that grows here, this is all wheat. She also says that they grow this wheat themselves, but I don't believe in that. I think she rents this land to somebody in the village who comes and then just grows and sells this wheat. But the land plot for growing garden is very big. Officially you cannot build any buildings on this land. You have just to use it for growing vegetables, fruits, berries, and so on and so on. And right next to those trees there is a river, and she says that right next to at the end of this land plot that she grows some tomatoes there as well, and it is very easy to water them straight from the river. And now the man shows the size of this land plot, so all the way up to those trees where the river is. And it is 7,000 square meters or 75,000 square feet. And you can even see the neighbor's land plot, and you can see black soil right there, which means that it is very good and it is worth buying land in this village. This village is growing, number of people who live here increases. A new grocery shop was opened, she says, a year ago, and totally they have 4 grocery shops, like a small supermarket, a market that works on Saturdays and Sundays, not a big market, but where you can buy all you need, like cucumbers, tomatoes, and everything else that people grow. And prices will be here maybe less than 30% comparing to the prices on markets or in supermarkets. She lived here with her husband all her life. Her parents lived here and her grandfather and grandmother lived here. But now children bought a new apartment somewhere in the city, and she and her husband cannot just live here by their own because they are old, they do not have so much energy, they have some illnesses, and they're just selling it because they are moving to their kids' apartment, where it will be close to hospitals, where it's better healthcare than in this village. Well, there is no healthcare in this village at all. She cuts grass by herself. They repaired a roof in the summer kitchen maybe 6 or 7 years ago. They would live here if they didn't have a choice to move to the city. Also, there is a bus station in this village, and there are 6 or 7 bus routes to nearby cities, big villages, and 2 bus routes every day to Vinnytsia. She says that during the winter sometimes electricity is cut off for several hours, but there are no interruptions with gas connection. So even if you do not have wood or coal for heating, if you install a small UPS, that gas heater will work without any problems. I tried to check if there is a centralized water supply in this village, but I couldn't find that information. But the water level in the well is pretty high, and the river is very close, so there should be no problems with the water. And this village is serviced by 2 internet providers, by 2 cable internet providers. There is also a school and a kindergarten in this village. And the school was renovated several years ago, and children from nearby villages come to this school as well. So that means that village is pretty nice, and it is worth buying house in such village. And the house is of good quality, summer kitchen is also of good quality, magnificent garden, and a very, very big land plot. Together with this house, together with those tree garden, and with all those barns, the total area of the land is 9,500 square meters, which is a little bit more than 100,000 square feet. And all that for $4,500. And as I said in my previous video, you can also install water pump straight from the river or maybe from this well, and in the summer you can cool down the roof and make it even cooler inside the house. And you already have 3 very, very good windows installed in the biggest room in the house. So not so much maintenance is needed, but the problem is with the toilet. You would have to build an extension to the house and install a toilet, together with a septic, if you were to buy such house. And now let's see how close this village to a nearby city. The nearest city, well, it is not a big city, it is called Vinnytsia, is in 30 minutes by car. You would go there if you need some building materials, some bricks, and such things as cement, and some other things can be bought in the village, I think. Then there is a not big city, but bigger city called Chagov. And Chagov is already in Kyiv region. It is not Vinnytsia region. To Kyiv region is 47 minutes by car. It's 43 kilometers. Well, about 1 hour, let's say. And if you were to go to Vinnytsia it is 70 kilometers, more than 1 hour driving. By bus, it would be about 2 hours to Vinnytsia. As I said, this village Chagov, you can check it out on Google Maps, you can take a virtual tour, because Google actually was here in 2015, so you can check out that main road from the Google Maps. Remember, I told you that delivery service is very important, so there is a Nova Poshta in this village. It's the first and the biggest private delivery operator. There is also the national operator, Ukr-Poshta, also located in this village, as you can see. And here we have the school in Chagov. And as I said, it is very good that the village has kindergarten. There is a kindergarten here as well. Please tell me in comments, did you like the house? Did you like the land? Would you want to live in such village? It would be interesting to know your opinion. I found a telephone number of the owner in archive where this house was advertised for sale, and called that number. House was sold for 170,000 hryvnias, which is about $4,500 US. And before, owner wanted 200,000. And I think the price was negotiated because something was not right with the documents. It is my suggestion, maybe they just negotiated, maybe the person who bought it, maybe he had only 170,000 hryvnias, I don't know, but I think something was not right with the documents. And I must say that many people who buy such houses, they don't really care care a lot about documents. They just buy house because they see that usually old people sell such houses and those people cannot live there anymore, and they don't care about documents very much. But as I said in my previous video, it is better that everything is all right with the documents, especially if foreigner buys such house and land, because there may be many unpleasant situations with maybe children of those owners in the future. There may be not any problems, but better to eliminate all possible problems that might arise. Those of you who need my personal assistance, help or advice with choosing real estate or checking some real estate or just anything else in Ukraine, feel free to email me at my email address, and I always glad to help those people who really need help. Please write in comments, what do you think about such house? Would you buy it for $5,000 US? Or maybe you would buy a bigger house with already built-in toilet and bathroom? If so, how much money would you be willing to spend on such house? Please write in comments. In the meantime, I wish you all good luck, success, happiness, joy, tranquility, and of course, stay healthy and wealthy.